Hi guys, welcome back. Today I thought it would be fun to do a video making some chocolate chip cookies, and I thought I could break it down and make it super basic. So if you're like a beginning baker or you want to start getting into baking or something, like this is a really easy cookie recipe that you can do. Like this is like the chocolate chip cookie recipe that's like they used to put on the back of Nestle chocolate chip bags. I don't know if they still do that. I have Aldi chocolate chips, so I don't know. But it's basically that recipe. And I thought I would break it down and make it easier for people starting out to make it, because I remember when I was like a teenager making chocolate chip cookies, I was just trying to figure it out on my own, and it can be a little confusing, but I'm gonna make it super not confusing. And I apologize if you can hear my air conditioner, but it's been so hot, it keeps running and I can't get it to stop unless I turn it off, and then I will cook. So we don't want that. But let's get started on a recipe. I'm going to give you the amounts for a single batch, but I'm going to be adding the ingredients for a double batch into my bowl because there's like 7 people in my house to eat cookies. If I made a single batch, it'd be gone super quick, and I want them to last a while. So that's the plan. I also just remembered my washing machine is also going, and it's loud too, which is why I have this microphone on, and I'm hoping you can hear me better. But that's the plan. I started all these tasks, and then I was like, oh, I need to make those. And now I'm like, oh, I'll make a video. And I didn't think about all the noises. So we're going to start with the butter. You're going to add 2 sticks of butter to your bowl. I'll be adding double that. And make sure your butter is just leave it out for a few hours. You want it room temperature, like when you touch it, you can like leave a finger indent. When you touch it, you can leave a finger indent in the butter. That's when you know it's good. And you're gonna put that in your bowl. I have a mixer. You can do this by hand, but it's gonna really tire out your arm. I would not recommend. You could use a hand mixer at the beginning, but not at the end, because you could literally blow the motor on one of those things. And I know by experience that you could do that. So you can use it at the beginning. Do not use it at the end. Okay, after the butter, we're gonna put our sugars in. And we want, these are my tubs for my sugar in. So you want 3/4 of a cup of white sugar and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And we're gonna add it to the butter. And for your white sugar, you're gonna wanna level that. So, for instance, let me show you. I use a knife, and you just scrape it along the top so that it looks like that. So 3/4 of a cup. This is double that. Okay, now we're gonna put that aside because we're done with that now. And next we need brown sugar, and we need 3/4 of a cup of this, and we're gonna pack it. So I use the spoon. Some people use their hands, but I don't like sticky, and it gets a little sticky. So put some in and pack it down. Pack it, so see, and then you add some more. I usually add a couple scoops and then pack it again, because, well, this is a big cup. Maybe if I was using a 3/4 cup, I wouldn't do that, but this cup's kind of big. And go all the way to the top. It might not be 100% even because, well, we're packing it. We're not really scraping it. I don't know if some people scrape it or not. I don't. I just leave it how it looks. So I'll show you when we get there. And you're probably going to make a mess, or at least I am. Okay, so you see it's like pretty much even. I guess there's like a little spot right there. Okay, it's pretty much even, but yeah, there's some you know, indents. So, and we're going to put that in the bowl. So you have your 2 sticks of butter, your 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and your 3/4 cup of white sugar in the bowl or mixer or whatever you're using. And then we're gonna mix. So you gotta put your mixer attachment on. Maybe I should have done that first. Oh, there we go. And then we put the bowl up. And now we are going to cream it until all that is combined. And I will show you what it looks like. I guess I'll take you off there and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, if you had your butter at the right temperature and your sugars, well, you just add those. But anyway, if you have added your butter at the right temperature and you cream them together, it should look like that. I'm sorry the lighting's not the best in the world. It keeps raining here, but this is what it looks like. That's what it should look like creamed. Now that that's done, the next thing we're adding is eggs. Got my eggs right here. And something to crack them into, because if you try to crack them into your mixing bowl, for some reason that'll be the day that you probably get eggshell in there, and then you got a crunchy cookie. So we're going to be adding 2 eggs to our bowl. Obviously I'm doubling it, so just hit your egg against something hard, crack it into your your little separate bowl. Crack it into your little separate bowl. Then you have your egg, add it in. Do this as many times as you need. Obviously, most people are doing 2 if you're following this recipe, because that's the ingredients I'm giving. But if you're doubling it, you're doing more. Okay, we've added our eggs. Now we're going to mix it up, but first wash your hands so you don't get egg on everything, because that's gross. Then you're touching egg. All right, let's mix this up. I don't know if you want me to show you this too when it looks. I'll show you after I mix this in what it's looking like. Okay, after we add the egg, that's what it looks like. Now we're gonna add all the little stuff because I find it easier to add the vanilla, salt, and baking soda before I put my flour in. Otherwise it doesn't disperse as well. So that's what we're gonna do next. Next step, we're gonna add our salt and our baking soda and our vanilla. And yeah, I just like to put it in during this step because otherwise I feel like it doesn't mix in as well. Okay, so we're adding a teaspoon of each of these. So 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon vanilla. I like to sprinkle it around in here, even though it disperses itself. And you might need to get a spatula to push everything down. Also, don't mind my baking soda that I'm about to bring out here. We got it from Sam's Club and everything's giant versioned. Yeah. That's a lot of baking soda. I know. Gotta make sure I don't get any chunks too. I don't get the wrong measurement. Gosh, I might have to break it up with the knife a little because we got some chunks. Maybe if I scrape it. The little ones are much easier than this. Okay, let me get my scoop. Okay, and now we're gonna level it off, just like all the other things. And break up these clumps. Oh yeah, we still have some clumps. Okay. Perfect. Add that in. And then vanilla, which we're going to be cutting it close with this vanilla. I don't have very much vanilla left. I always use this Watkins brand, and I'm just about out because it's pretty good stuff. And we're just going to do 1 teaspoon of that. Which, wow, I literally had like just barely the perfect amount. So, and I would measure this over your bowl because that way if you drip some, you don't lose it. But if you have a really unsteady hand, I don't know that I would do that, or you're gonna have half the bottle of vanilla in your cookies. So now we're gonna mix that up, and I'm not gonna show you what that looks like because we didn't add that much in here. Okay, it's mixed. Now I'm going to grab a spatula because we're going to need it for the next 2 things, which are the final items we're adding. Oh my gosh, I just forgot how much we're adding of this. 1 second. Sorry, I have it memorized, but it doubled and then my mind just turned off. So you're going to be adding 2 1/4 cups. So 2 cups and then 1/4 of a cup. Add that into your mixing bowl and we're gonna mix it up. But we're gonna mix it up slow. So like add a cup, mix it. Add a cup, mix it. Add the 1/4 cup, mix it. Because otherwise it's a lot. And don't forget, when we're adding the flour, make sure you take your knife or whatever you have and make sure it's level. Or you're gonna have too much flour and they're not gonna taste good. Add it in. Come on, get in. Okay, mix it. We're almost done, and then we get to bake them, and then we can eat them. So that's always exciting. It's the best part of baking, is eating the food. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we're going to add the chocolate chips. And my chocolate chip measurements are like kind of weird, because really chocolate chips are just like, how many do you want in there? But I'll give you an amount, and then I'll tell you what I add, and well, you would add half of what I'm adding, but you get what I'm saying. But let's see what it looks like. That's what the cookie dough should be looking like. It's quite thick, and make sure, if you need to, you use the spatula and scrape the edges down so you don't miss anything. But yeah, that's basically what it looks like, and we're gonna add our chocolate chips. All right, I had to go and actually figure out how much they suggest. They suggest you add 2 cups of chocolate chips, or a 12-ounce bag of their chocolate chips or whatever. That's like way too many chocolate chips for me. Like, I don't want 1,000 chocolate chips in every bite. But you can do that. Go add 2 cups of chocolate chips to your cookies. Or what I like to add is a 12-ounce bag of mini chocolate chips, because they like disperse out better, so you get like chocolate with every bite, and not like one bite that's all chocolate and one bite that's all chips. But I add a whole bag to a double recipe, so you'd want to use a half bag. Or if you love chocolate, add the whole bag. It doesn't really matter. Like, put the whole bag in there. But if you're like me, half a bag. Otherwise, chocolate lovers, I mean, I like chocolate, but in my cookies, I just want it dispersed. Just use the whole bag. You can't really go wrong with the amount of chocolate chips you add. But I just like to turn it on slow and then just sprinkle them in. There we go. That's the chocolate chip cookies. Now we're gonna bake them, which is by far the trickier part, because if you overbake these, you ruin them. So let's get started baking these cookies so we can eat one, because I'm getting hungry for a snack. Okay, don't mind my slightly dirty stove. We are going to preheat our oven, which is supposed to be 375, but mine bakes kind of hot, so I'm gonna do 350, but you should do 375. Unless your oven bakes hot, then you could do 350. I went and got my sheet pan. I put some parchment down, and we're gonna put the cookies on it, and then we're gonna bake them. So I like to do, I don't know, like I don't have a specific amount because you just cook the cookie to like golden brown. So I just do like, well, I'll show you. Here's our cookie dough. Here's what it looks like. Wait. Okay, well, a little flour fell off the side. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Now let's put some cookies on here. Oh, my spoon. Okay. Let me show you. I think it's usually like, boop, that much. See it? So what, a tablespoon? Is that a tablespoon? That much on the parchment. Or however, like you could make tiny cookies if you wanted. Mini cookies. However many cookies you're wanting. I want to eat one cookie, not 1,000 mini cookies. So I make my cookies a good size. And then however many you can fit on the parchment. Somehow I got the small tray. We have like a big one around here, but I only found this older, smaller sheet pan. So that's what we're using, but I do somewhere have a big one, and then I could just do like a ton of cookies at once. Gotta get some more sheet pans. Okay. Just leave like that much space, 2 inches between each cookie. Honestly, if they grow together, just use your spatula and cut them apart, but it's gonna be fine. Now we're gonna put them in the oven so that they can cook, and then we'll see what they look like afterwards. All right, we're gonna set our timer for 9 minutes. And then we're gonna check and see if they're golden brown. Ignore this. I splashed food on there. 9 minutes. And then we'll see if they're golden brown. I'll show you what they will look like if they are golden brown. All right, we have to just wait now, which is the hardest part. But like I'll come back to you in 9 minutes and we can see if they're golden brown. Otherwise, I like to turn it and then put it in for another minute and check it depending on how done they are. Okay, this is how golden brown you want them when you're taking them out. I did mine for 350 for 9 minutes, and this is what they look like. They look good. My oven does cook a little hot, so you might have to kind of trial and error. Maybe you try less time and then you can always add more. But this was 9 minutes at 350 in my oven. So yeah, those look good. And we will wait a few minutes and then we'll taste test one and I'll show you what they look like. I'm just gonna cut mine apart and put them on this tray to cool more before we eat them. And this is what I mean by cutting them apart. You just take your spatula and push down and they break apart. It's really not a big deal. And you're gonna wanna wait a couple minutes or they'll be hard to get up, but like pretty easy. I'm hoping your guys's are turning out this good as well because I'm very excited to eat these. They look delicious. I don't know how hot you guys like your cookies when you eat them. I like a warm cookie but not burning hot. I could probably try one of these, I think. We'll wait another 2 minutes. All right, let's try one of these cookies. I'm just trying to decide which one I want, to be honest. Let's go with this one. I feel like this is a good one. Yeah, it's still a little bit warm, but here's what it looks like. And then we'll break it. It might be a little too warm to be breaking in half, but. So if you like the really like puffy cake-like cookies, I think there's like a tweak you can do to make them more cake-like. Oh, I hope my hair is not messing up the microphone thing. But I like these just like they are. So, they're very good. No changes from me. And I think they're a great beginner recipe. I think I've been making these cookies since I was like 12 or something. And I've had some slip ups over the years, but I have it down pretty well by now. So I hope your guys' cookies turned out good. I hope you had fun with this. And if you enjoyed it, comment down below, because I've been thinking of maybe making some more of these because I enjoy baking and I enjoy making videos. And I thought we could combine them. But let me know what you think. And I want to know, how did your cookies turn out? Comment that down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.